teasers about some of the women in the book, and then I'll introduce Cece and Miranda. One of the first women I interviewed, and this is an amazing story, about a year ago, actually it was the day after Thanksgiving because everybody was out doing all their after Thanksgiving shopping, and Christina Wagner and I sat down to do an interview, and Christina came back to me. We did an interview and I wrote the story, and about 8 or 9 months later, Christina came back to me and she said, I'd like to do another interview. I'd like to tell you the real story. And so we sat down again, and Christina shared with me that she had been a crystal meth addict for many years, and she had lost everything in her life. She had lost her house, she had lost her family, her children, and she sunk to the bottom that you can get to. And she now, today, is the marketing director of KFNX Radio. She has been sober for more than 5 years, and she has put her life back together, and she's a contributor in our community. And that is an example of some of the stories that I have in this book. Another lady that I met at Fresh Start, and her name's Holly Hunter, and Holly had such a great story because when she came in, she was looking for help, and she came to one of my workshops, and she was getting ready to get back out into the workforce. She had been a stay-at-home mom, which is a situation many women today find themselves in. How do I get back out into the workforce if I haven't been working at a job? And Holly was also going through a divorce, and she needed to find a way to generate income, take care of her children. And as she shared her story for the interview, she also shared that not only was she dealing with all of this, that from the age of 14, when she had taken her first drink, that she had been an alcoholic. And I got an email from Holly yesterday. She is celebrating her 6 years sober, and she now has her own business, and she is excited about her life. And so these are the kinds of stories that I share with you in Shattering Barriers. It's the lesson that no matter where you are, ask for help, and you will find it. First of all, there are resources out there, and no matter how big the obstacles are that you have to overcome, you can do it if you believe in yourself. And now I'd also like to introduce Cece first, I think, and then Miranda. And Cece, I met at a networking event, and at Christina's networking event, and I'm going to step back and take just one real quick thing to show you how people come into your life if you keep your mind open and you recognize opportunities. I was swimming this morning, or that morning, I was swimming laps, and I was so frustrated as I was writing my book. So writers do have frustration. I was so frustrated because I had written a chapter and I wanted to do a section on self-esteem, and I felt it was very important to be part of this book that I had to include self-esteem. And I couldn't find anyone, and I was going back and I was rereading some of the interviews that I had done with women and thinking, oh, maybe I can rewrite one of these interviews and get this to happen, and it just wasn't fitting. So I go to this event, I meet Cece, I'm talking to her, and Clarissa Burt is there, and she's speaking. And Clarissa stands up, and if you don't know who she is, her face has been on the cover of 250 magazines as a model. She's glamorous, she's been on all the big ones. If you think about Glamour and Cosmo and all of them, she's been there. She started the Miss Universe pageant in Italy and ran that, and it was very successful. And she stands up to talk to the group, and she said, I fight the demons every day of my life. And she started talking about how she had dealt with personal self-esteem issues her entire life. And I thought, there she is, my chapter. So I talked to Clarissa right after the program and said, can we get together and talk, and shared with her what I'm doing. And this is an example of a lady who was very, very busy. She's building a new business, and because of her belief and her goal of helping and inspiring other women, she agreed to share her story with me in Shattering Barriers because of the overall goal of the book. So Cece shared an amazing story with me, and rather than just diluting your story, I'm going to bring you up and let you tell what you would like to share with your story.
Okay. As one of the amazing women that's in Dolores' book, I would like to say thank you, Dolores, for giving me this opportunity to actually get my story out, because I really truly believe that people can learn and anything is possible, no matter where you come from, who you are. There's still live, you inside, your love, and how you feel about yourself. So I just want people to know that my story is very personal, to me. It was very hard for me to sit down and talk with someone. I was a runaway, and I thought that I didn't need school in my life. So I decided I wanted to do a business. And I didn't realize until I wanted to become a businesswoman that I had 5th grade education. And I had everything I needed, but I didn't have education. There was times I walked in a place and I would hear people say, oh, she had double grammar, she had this. But as a person that had, like belief and had dreams, I had to ignore a lot of things and say, okay, I am who I'm going to be, and it's up for me to speak, about who I am, not have someone else determine who I am, because I don't have, perfect English, because I didn't. But I want people to know that anything is possible, because right now I own 4 successful businesses. And I'm planning on really doing more, and I want to help people like me that didn't have the education, that was runaways, know that there always a way. I say go to the light, stay away from the dark. And if you love yourself and believe in yourself, anything is possible.
Yes.
And I just want everyone, I just want to get this word out. And the house in Prescott is called Prescott Diamond Retreat. I'm thinking about making it into a home for women that have had shattering barriers. And I want to actually get together and take them up to the place one by one. Is a really great feeling place. I think I could teach most women that come from nothing as I did. And that's my goal, is to actually pay off the house, name it Shattering Barriers. And any woman over 30 without education, without any help from anyone, if you don't want someone to know, there was times when I actually went out to schools. It was literacy programs. I had to actually learn how to read. I was afraid to come out here. I know it was a big world of business women, but I didn't fit in because I didn't understand what they were saying to me. I didn't know. But I knew I was smart, and I knew I had a dream, and I wanted things in my life. So here I am today. I'm so glad I met you, Dolores. You're giving me a chance to actually, start a new life. It's a great start. I didn't start my life when I got the business or when I came to Arizona. I started when I met Dolores, because my word is out now. So thank you very much.
Oh my Lord, if the movie comes out, I'm not gonna make it. I just have to say a little something.
Well, I'm glad it went this way.
I actually networked with Cece Marati almost about 2.5 years ago, and actually because we both were one of the only 2 African American women who actually were leaders of our own networking organization, actually through Austin. I actually was at his event one time, and he had kind of been, talking amongst each other to each other, but we hadn't met each other directly. And I was actually at a networking event in Austin, and Cece just came right up to me. She was like, "You're Michelle, huh?" She's like, "I've been hearing things about you, and we need to connect." And at this time, this is before I actually got involved with Power Networking. I actually have my own independent networking group called the Coalition Networking Group. And at that time, Cece also had Scottsdale Team Players. So I was like, oh my God, like I'm on the west side, you're on the east side. I'm like, I've been definitely wanting to expand my network to really get into the Scottsdale market. But I just was so in awe of her spirit and her energy. And we kind of just clicked, like soul sisters. From the beginning, and I was just so impressed because Cece had her home in Scottsdale. She also took me out to her home in Prescott. And then also just with all of the various businesses that she has, from her website company to what she's doing with, Prescott Diamond Retreat. Also what she's doing with the, windows and doors business. This woman is always busy in business. Doing so much. And obviously, you know, I just have been just so empowered, and, you know, which is very hard sometimes, that when you're actually in business, and, you know, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, you know, I have a lot of stuff going on too, but to get out here in the business world and really have a sisterhood connection with women where there's no jealousy, there's no envy, it's all about the win-win-win and us just coming together. She has always been just such a breath of fresh air in business for me, and obviously when I got the word that she was actually being featured in this book, I was just like, what? Like, this is so major, CC, because she has such an amazing testimony. She has been such an inspiration and such a giver, and I just think it's her time to be able to receive. She's an amazing giver, but she's not the best receiver all the time, because she's so used to people take, because they see that, you know, she's a beautiful black woman. I mean, shapely black woman, you know, the small, petite frame that is considered ideal when you're out here in that Scottsdale, you know what I'm saying, mix or whatever. So I just have to just allow other individuals to understand that I check for CC. I think she's awesome. I think what you're doing, Dolores, and being able to empower these women, I mean, I can see the movie, the screenplay. I mean, I can just see so much, and another big series of just more individuals being inspired and being empowered by the opportunity just to hear these stories and understand that we're all in this together. We all have obstacles and challenges and issues and dark secrets, but together we stand divided, we will never fall. So I'm just excited, just have to just let you know that you're awesome.
And now, I met Miranda around the first of the year, probably. And I'd like to bring you up now, Miranda, to share a little bit of your story. Miranda she has the most generous heart, and her organization, Circle of Helping Hands, it was an inspiration to me. And when she sat down to share her story with me, it was a very emotional day. And Miranda has a background in the military, and she has not had an easy life. And yet she's so generous with giving back and what she does to people in the community and to help others. So Miranda,